Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Thursday Night Mini Healings. It's been a crazy night, and we're just, 30 seconds in? Just a little nuts. So we will see if I last the whole session or if I lose you at some point, and I'll explain why. So I hope everybody's having a good evening. I had stuff planned, so we will see what really happens tonight. Okay? So where do I even start? Well, we'll start with my usual. There were technical difficulties, but it was new technical difficulties. So last week I realized that I have been streaming to my main Facebook account, my personal account, and then the Summer Avalon Healing Arts account. And it used to be I'd only stream to YouTube and the Healing Arts account and Periscope, which is the same as Twitter pretty much. But they recently added a thing where you could stream to your profile. And I thought, oh, that's nice because not everybody who's on my profile is part of my business page. And so that means you don't have to look so much to find me. But there's been a number of you that, especially like last week, there's one of you on my profile and they didn't see any of the chats because I think everyone else was on the business page. And I got some error messages about Facebook not being able to go live. So sort of a crazy, crazy time. So I took the profile off. So I'm hoping that whoever typically was going to my profile and linking to live from there finds me in the business page. But I did put a link on my profile. So I thought I was really good. And then today when I go to log in tonight, it was okay until I hit go live and it said your Periscope page has become disconnected and you need to reset it. So I tried setting it like 4 different times. It didn't want to. A couple times it changed the time. Yes, very Mercury retrograde. So it let me go live without recreating my stream, which is what I've had to do the last few weeks. Then, well, actually right before that, about 45 minutes ago, there was this huge boom. It was like a bomb or something. And I opened my front door and there was a car, and my front yard is huge. There was a car that hit the telephone pole in front of my house next to the street and hit it so hard he blew up all his airbags on each. It had side airbags and the driver and the front airbags. It was the Lexus. But the guy was pretty sketchy. He was on drugs. So he left after one of the neighbors called the police, and then he put drugs in my garbage can and locked the car door and then left on his skateboard. But crazy. And so right now I look outside and there's police, and then there's a tow truck, and then the fire department was here, and I know the electric company is coming because he split the vertical wooden phone pole. It's still standing, but there's like a split going up and down. So it needs to be replaced. There's Vicky. So at some point, I'm expecting we will lose power. And so if we lose power, if I just go away, I think we'll probably be done. Okay? So crazy, huh? Just crazy. Plus, I have this new tool I wanted to use. It's really sort of exciting. So, yeah. Just a crazy, crazy time. So let's see who I missed. So I've got Marina and Joan. And Joan was going to miss tonight, but she missed us so much she decided she had to come see us. And Valerie. And there's Vicky and Joanne Well, according to, where's my little sheet that I was going to talk about tonight? I'm not sure if we will talk about the whole thing, but there are quite a few planets in retrograde, not just Mercury. So we might leave this for next time, because a planet in retrograde is not necessarily a bad thing. Because what I was going to read to you which of the planets are in retrograde, and then maybe next week I'll do that, because I would assume at least some of them are going to be there for a while. But I did want to talk about Mercury retrograde and why when Mercury does go retrograde, it's not always a bad thing. There are certain things that when they're in retrograde, it's okay. So I was going to tell you about if Mercury is in retrograde, there are some things that you should be doing. So just not communication and things like this, right? So how is everybody? Okay. All right, so let's see. Oh, and there's Paula. All right, so I'm just going to see. Oh no, Paula, that's horrible. All right, so Paula, bullied at work. That's nasty. Okay. All right, Valerie, hip and joint pain. Okay, let's see. Joan. And Jane. Allergies. So, Joan, have you thought? Okay, so you don't trust your intuition. So you get something, you get what could be a message. Do you sit and ponder if you should trust it, or have you tried just going with it? Okay, let's see. So I got Joan, Jane, Joanne. That's a very good one. Taking on other people's problems. Marina needs some sleep. And getting a nice job. Okay, Anne Marie, self-discipline. So maybe it's not necessarily working on trusting your intuition, but connecting to it, Joan, and listening. Okay. All right. Let's get started with the healing pulse. Is everyone ready? So if you are new, I want you to think about where you would want to receive healing energy. If it's something physical, that's pretty easy. You will want to direct the energy exactly to where you feel pain or discomfort. If it is something emotional or like anxiety, think about where do you feel that? Because that's where you're going to want to direct the energy. and you'll be directing the energy with your hands. So I want you to rub your hands together until they are warm, and place your hands exactly where you want to receive the energy. And then I want you to imagine that my hands are on your hands. And so you're receiving your own healing frequencies plus the healing frequencies that come through me. And the most important thing is just be open and allowing, and just breathe in the energy and let it go to exactly to where it needs to go. Let's do something a little new too. So imagine while you're doing this, there's energy coming out the bottoms of your feet, and it's connecting you deep into Mother Earth, source energy, and helping you ground and connect. So just breathe that in and imagine the energy is flowing exactly to where it needs to go. Just in time, Donna. So just breathe it in, open and allowing. Open and allowing. Just imagine the energy just really flowing. I'm just shutting my blinds because there's so many people outside. They don't need to be looking in my windows. So it's dark here now, and my little office lights are shining like a beacon. Okay, so that was our first healing pulse of the night. How'd everybody do? Let me know. We're going to start with Paula, and I'm going to see what tool I'm going to use. So I've got a new tool that I'd planned on using tonight, but I printed it out. Of course, I left it in the house and just a little distracted. So I've got it pulled up on the computer, but I'm going to just muscle test and see what we're going to use tonight. Oh, we're going to use the new one. So this one, it is like 30 pages long. And just the negative emotions has 420 negative emotions. I could probably spend, I don't know, weeks just working on people with that many trapped emotions alone, right? Okay, so let me pull this up and just see. Yeah, there's like almost 3 full pages of negative emotions, all in alphabetical order. So if you want to focus on one letter of the alphabet one night, we could do that. So let's see. Let's see what page we're going to work on with Paula. We're going to work on page 3. Let's see. So anything from R to Y. Let's see what is at the basis for this bullying at work. It is the word whipped. That sort of matches up with being bullied. So let me get an age on this. Around age 13. So let's get rid of this because we don't want you to feel comfortable with this. So let's get rid of whipped. And then we will fill the voids with healing energy. Okay. that has released. Valerie, you are next. Hip joint pain. So I think I'm just going to stick with this new tool for tonight, and then we'll see what we do next time because, as I said, it's got a lot of different things. All right, so let's see what page Valerie's going to use with this. Page 2. Punished. Some of these are rather unique, aren't they? All right, so let me get an age on that. Wow, age 13. I wonder if that's the age of most of the trapped emotions tonight. So let's go ahead and release that. Releasing punished for Valerie. Okay, and the voids have been filled. Joan, you are next. So I'm not going to use trust because that means you're getting messages, but you don't believe them. You don't think they're real. Let's just focus on getting the messages. So let's see, is there anything preventing you from receiving intuitive messages? And part of it is building awareness. That book that you and I chatted about a few weeks ago, that Tammy Mastrioni, I think her last name was. Where is that? She has some exercises about synchronicities and observations. I'm wondering if that's something that maybe we should work on as a group. Maybe once a week, I'll give you a little exercise to help you build up towards awareness. And there's another book too. I can't remember what it's called, but I remember I did an exercise where you pick an image or an object and you expect it to run across your path. And unfortunately, that didn't happen for me, but I know a friend of mine was using it, and it was sort of a cool thing. So maybe I'll pull a few things. Maybe that'll be our next theme that we're going to work on every week. Joan, it's uneasy. So when you think about that, uneasy. So are you uneasy connecting to your intuition? And is that emotion causing you not to notice or to block it even? So let's see what age uneasy is at. 16. So let's go ahead and release that. So that released. And my pronouns is in the house, I'm not looking at chat. So let me just go glance at chat, make sure everything is okay over there. Let's see. Looks like you guys are good. All right, so is Jane here yet? I think I'll skip Jane until she's here. Joanne, so taking on other people's problems and sort of like a boundary kind of thing, Joanne, right? So let's see if we can make that a little easier for you. Worthless. So I wonder, with that feeling, it makes it harder for you to say no. So let me get an age on worthless for you, Joanne. And if anyone's come in or they haven't told me what you want to work on, just put that in the comments. Round age 27, Joanne. So let's go ahead and release that, because that definitely makes you more sensitive to that. We want you strong. We want all of you strong. Okay, did that release? Yes. And the voids have been filled. Marina, sleep and that new job. Let's see. We're going to focus on the job first. It is unmindful. So that's a new word. So does that mean that you're not as, I'm trying to think of another word for mindful that would make sense. Maybe you're not as thoughtful, but part of that is just life too. Life is sort of crazy. Maybe you need to dedicate some time to being mindful. Let me get an age on that unmindful. Maybe something will come to you that is related to that, Marina. 16. So let's go ahead and release that. Unmindful. And that did release, and the voids have been filled. And Marie, you were next. Unfulfilled. Let me get an age on that for you, Anne Marie. $14. So let's go ahead and release that. That's definitely not a helpful trapped emotion. All right, so that released. All right, and so that. All right, so let's see what I missed. Good, Marina. That's very good. Okay, I will take off the sleep from you, Marina. I know it's in the middle of the night over there where you're at. Marina is quite dedicated to our little group, you guys. It's, what are you, like 6 or 7 hours ahead of us? All right, so Donna needs some feet issues. That's a really good observation, Marina. Yeah, definitely dedicated to our little group. So thank you for being here. So I think Joan and I have had this conversation a few times, and probably a number of you. I'm sort of big on mindfulness in nature, and especially if you can get somewhere and take off your shoes and just be, connect to the earth, listen to the birds, see what thoughts come into your head, and just be aware of everything. Your surroundings, your thoughts, but yet being calm with it too. All right, Donna, you're next. Let's see what we're going to do about your feet. slammed. Does that relate to your feet, Donna? Let me get an age on that and see if this makes more sense to you. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. 14. So we're definitely in the teenage years for most of you for clearings today. All right, did that release? Yes. And the voids have been filled. Okay. What time is it? So we'll do another healing pulse, and then we'll do another round of the releasing trapped emotions. Because I think we're going to wait on my little extras plan just because I don't know if I'm going to lose power or not. All right, so let's see. I haven't lost you guys yet, have I? You're awfully quiet. Okay, let's go ahead and do another healing pulse. And I think with this, let's, on the nature theme, go pull in the directions. Ooh, there's Jane. Jane, we're going to work on your allergies. So let me add you in quick before we do the next healing pulse. And then you can also use that pulse energy for your allergies. And it is the feeling of unsure. Definitely some new ones this week, right? But with 420 negative emotions, there was bound to be new ones. Let me get an age on that for you, Jane. 17, Jane. So let's go ahead and release that. So that released, and the voids have been filled. So let's go ahead and we will do the next healing pulse. Okay. Definitely need to take care of that. Vicky, I'm going to add you when we get done, okay? So re in the ears. Very hard, Anne-Marie. I'm glad you could recognize that, though, because I think that's easier. Jane, it was around 17. So plus or minus a year. So 16, 17, 18, somewhere in there. Okay, let's do a healing pulse. So think about where you want to receive the energy. If you don't really have a place because you're doing good, I would suggest send it to your aura or send it to your heart. All right, everybody ready? So rub your hands together. Place your hands exactly where you want them to be. And then just breathe in that energy. Just imagine it's going exactly where it needs to go. Just breathe it in. And as we do this, we're going to acknowledge the 4 directions: north, south, east, and west. And then we're also going to acknowledge below and above. And then we're going to call in the wind. We're going to call in the rain. We're going to call in the earth. And then we're going to call in fire. And with all those directions and all those elements, imagine the weight off your shoulders has been released because you are not alone, but you are fully supported by the universe. Just breathe it in. Open and allowing. Okay, that was our second healing pulse of the night. And I didn't read your full question, Jane. That was unsure at 17. Okay, so Vicki, you are next. So let me pull up my list. Here's an interesting one for you, Vicki. Misunderstood. So is someone not hearing you, or are you not hearing someone else? Let me get an age on that. 29, Vicki. Let's release that. So that released, and the voids have been filled. Okay. Oh, I don't believe that, Vicki. Maybe it's a certain person that's misunderstanding you that's made you sensitive, because I think you're very understandable. Okay, let's go back around and see what else we can do. What do you guys think of my new list? It's sort of cool, huh? So next time we'll try a different section of it. As I said, we're going to focus on just the negative emotions, all 420 of them potentially. All right, so Paula, let's go back to you. And if you are just coming in, put anything you want to work on in the comments. It's sort of fun, isn't it, to change things up a bit? All right, so let's see. Let me get back to my... So this is maligned, Paula. Let me get an age on that. And this is still related to the bullying. So I don't know if this will match up with a previous bullying or where someone wasn't very nice to you. 14. So a little after when the other one, punished, came up. Or no, not punished, whipped. So that was 13. So let's release that. Okay, that released, and the voids have been filled. All right, Valerie, you are next. Is your hip and joint pain exactly the same as it was before I pulled that first emotion, Valerie? All right, so undesirable is the next negative emotion. around age 15. So, and many of this, and some of these are very personal, but others are, they're not yours, but how you felt about someone else. So I'm getting undesirable wasn't that you were undesired, but there was something that you didn't want, Valerie. Okay, so that released and the void has been filled. All right, Joan, you are next. Working on hearing your intuition or seeing it. You know, there's so many different ways of connecting to intuition. I have a chart we'll have to do. It has all the clairs, and you use muscle testing to rank what percent you have them and what percent you're using them. That might be a fun little thing to do one week. All right, so let's see. Undisciplined. All right, let's get an age on that. 17, Joan. Does that ring a bell? So that released and the void has been filled. Jane, allergies. Unfulfilled. We'll get an age on that. Notice so many of these are in the start with U's. You never realize there are so many emotions that start with U's. Let's see what age that is for Jane. That was age 18. Previously it was age 17. Let's get rid of that for you, Jane. Okay, that's been released. Joanne, you are next. Boundaries and not taking on other people's problems. Unsettled. Let's get an age on that for you, Joanne. Around age 37, Joanne. Unsettled. So let's release that. Because it's making a difference in you standing up for yourself. Okay, so that released. All right, Marina, we're working on you, and you definitely need a nice new job, girl. All right, so let's see what we can do to help that. Undesirable. Let me get an age on that. Interesting that this would come up with a job. So I wonder if this was sort of triggering things you don't want as far as work goes. Let's see what this age is. 15, Marina. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so that released and the void has been filled. Okay. And Marie, you are next. And I get the emotion of weak. I get an age on that. $16, Emery. Just a baby. 16. Let's get rid of that. All right, so that released. The void has been filled. Okay, so we've got 2 left. Donna. We're going to continue to work on Donna's feet and Vicky's ears. All right, so Donna, let's see what we've got here. It's washed up, Donna. Let me get an age on that. We'll see if it makes any sense. You know, as I said, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. 26. So let's release that. And then stretch your feet out and just see if releasing that makes it easier to move your feet around. Okay, Vicky, you are next. And if you're new to coming in or have been here but haven't said anything, let me know if there are things we should work on for you. Smothered, Vicky. Let's get an age on that. Smothered. So does that connect with things you didn't want to hear or? Interesting. Let's get an age. 16, Vicky. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so that's released and the voids have been filled. All right, let's see what I owned. Yeah, it's sort of fun, isn't it? Sorry, I missed a few being on that other page. Thanks for confirming that, Paula. I'm glad it's at least a little better, Valerie. Keep chipping away. Let's see, Valerie, that was at 15. All right. I'm not getting your students because of your allergy, though, Jane. Let's see. Well, Joanne, you proved him wrong. You definitely did. Okay, so time is it? 7:48. I still have power, which is good. I do hear people out there. So we shall see. So I think tonight we're going to do, so we'll do the brain balancing. Or did we do that last time? Let me look and see. Nope, we did not. So we'll do the brain balancing. And last time we did a prayer too, that from that little book. And we'll do an aura protection. Then we'll do the healing pulse to go. We'll have to see. This is the book that I get the little things from. Let's see if there's anything good for September 30th. Hard to believe the month is pretty much gone. This might be a good one to do. Talks about sudden change. Yeah, I think I want to do that. So I'm going to end up, I think, with this one. But let's go ahead and do the brain balancing. Is everybody ready? Sure, let's see. Actually, it just says weak, Anne Marie. Like you feel weak, so it can be physical, it can be emotional. Let's see if this is you or someone around you. This is yours. So I don't know if there was a time where you felt sort of beat up and weak. It might have been I'm not getting it was a physical weakness. I'm getting it was more of an emotional thing. I don't know if that matches up with anything. Anne Marie, 16. So plus or minus a year. So 15, 16, 17. For many of us, those were some tumultuous times. So let's do brain balancing. So I want you to rub your hands together. And you got your 2 fingers. And so place the 2 fingers about an inch above your ears and touch your scalp. And then start gathering the energy in one of your hands. For some reason, I always start on the left, but it doesn't really matter. Personal preference. And so imagine that hand gathering the energy. And then when you feel that hand is sort of full, and even if you can't feel it, wait just a certain amount of time and then slowly start sending the energy through. There are times I actually can't feel this. Every once in a while I do. But I know some of you feel so many things. All right, so slowly sending that energy. And once it gets to the other side, imagine that you're holding that energy and gathering it. Okay, and then start sending it back to your original hand. And so what this is doing is it's expanding the connection between your left and right hemispheres. And it truly is balancing out your brain so that one hemisphere doesn't take on too much. Granted, they each hemisphere has different functions, but just having a really strong connection between the two excuse me, sort of evens the load. Most definitely, Jane, stress plays a role in so many things. So, and then the more times you go back and forth, the quicker it is because you are expanding your pathways. And so as you're shifting the energy, just Be open and allowing it to expand. Okay, so let's do a few more passes and then we will go on to the next item. Okay, so that was brain balancing for tonight. Let me know how you did. Oh, I've got to do my little mini commercial. So we are finishing up with the Abundance series for September, but I'm a little delayed. Had some things going on. So I am continuing the healthy weight for another 2 weeks. So I've got, actually, I've got another tool that I want to try on you guys. And it's this plus something else. So nice, Valerie. That yawn is really key for you, knowing when you're feeling it. All right. So, October 17th, I am starting the next Abundance series, and that's going to be relationships, friendships, dating, love. And so that'll go for a month. So it'll go mid-October to mid-November. And so I'll be releasing and removing blocks, reinforcing positive behaviors. And then if you have a heart wall, which many people do, we will be working on releasing heart walls. And that's part of the session. So most of the work is by group, but it's pretty anonymous. The only thing that people know about you is that you're in the group. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. It's $30 for the month. I've got a few people signed up, so I'm sort of excited. The first time I run a program, it does take me a little longer because I try and do 400 or more statements. And so I think weight loss, I got up to 422. So I try and spread it out 100 a week. And last week for weight loss, I really overdid it. And so I didn't balance it out quite right, but I wanted to end up with something special this week. And I think at my lowest point, because I'm up and down a lot, I was down 5. But I don't seem to be craving as much as I was. So, but that's part of me working on removing reasons why I'm craving things. But with all my abundance stuff, this is a partnership where I work on removing blocks, reinforcing the positive, and then you work on what you need to work on. So like with the weight loss or even weight gain, because it works for either, is you would be, working on eating healthy and healthy movements. For relationships, it's going to making sure that you are open to positive interactions and putting yourself out there. So for each of my abundance groups, there are 3 things that I work on with everyone. And one is that you're open to change, you're open to healing, and are you open to being visible? Because many people aren't for all these things. And that's come true for weight. It's true with romance or friendships, and it's true with finance. So all these that are different, there's many similarities too. All right, so let's do the aura protection. And I think we're going to merge the aura protection and the healing pulses to go. Okay. So when you do the aura protection, just imagine that you're getting a week's worth of healing pulses to go. because it's all healing pulses. Are you ready? All right, so place your hands wherever you want to start sending to your aura. Oh, I think the electricians are here. I can hear them out there. We'll see. If I go bye-bye, it's because I've lost power. Just breathe it in. Imagine the energy going out to your aura, making it Teflon. And as my friend Vicky says, have it be gold, because gold will help repel. Because I think when I do like a reflective, usually I think like a mirror, like more silver, but imagine a tinted gold, because that will give it a little more power. So just imagine it really filling up your bubble, or your shield, or your suit, or whatever you call that around you that protects you. I have a friend that does bubble up. I usually just do shield up. But it's whatever code words you use, especially if you want to work on your shielding. Okay. All right. So that was the aura protection. Next, we're going to end with this pocket full of miracles. And there is, she calls it seed for thought. So here's something to think about. And then here is sort of she calls it a prayer. It's also listed as a practice. So, and I know sometimes that verbiage isn't helpful to people, but just imagine this is a request to source. All right. So September 30th. In periods of sudden change, when the bottom drops out of things, most of us are prone to move into perfectionistic thinking. We really blew it, so we must have been bad, very bad, and far from perfect. Take a few letting go breaths and read this excerpt from a letter of Carl Jung. If you are now in the dumps and up to your ears in the mire, you must tell yourself that you were flying too high and that a dose of undiluted hellish blackness was indicated. The pickle you are in is certainly something you couldn't have brought on yourself. This shows that someone out there is surrounding you with provident thoughts and doing you the necessary wrong. Very interesting to think about, isn't it? Because we don't always bring bad upon ourselves. All right, so here is the request to the universe. And so it gives a little bit of instruction here too. So take a few letting go breaths slowly, patiently. Enter the inner stillness, the Holy of Holies. Put your awareness in back of you and invoke the presence of Raphael. Ask the Archangel of Healing for help in becoming whole. And here is our intention. Great Spirit, I entered this season with gratitude for the things I will learn from the cosmic agents of awareness, those someone's out there who sweep the unconscious and create the dramas that bring me to wholeness. I call upon Raphael to stay by my side this fall, providing the courage to face myself anew, that I might embrace that wholeness and be of greater service to God and all beings. Two very thoughtful passages. You are very welcome, Joan. So this week, or actually not this week, next week, next Saturday and Sunday, I'm teaching my first Reiki class. If that interests you in the future, let me know. I think I'm probably going to be doing it again in January. Yes, that is the Pocket Full of Miracles book. You are very welcome, Anne-Marie. Love you too. You guys are fabulous. Sometimes before I start, I am just so tired, but it is always so worth it to come in and just say hello. Yeah, I really like when she pulls in the angels. And Raphael actually is an angel I'd like to get to know more. I think I used to have an angel book. I thought that was here. But each angel has a focus. So, and hers is healing. You're very welcome, Paula. I hope that person at work stops that, because that's just not right. And I hope tonight helped you, Paula. Oh, very nice, Joan. My go-to is either Michael or Gabriel, but I do need to start using. Let me see if there's any. I have a few books here, but I don't think this has. I've got a couple Doreen Virtue books because she's used to be so prolific until she went to the dark side. So, because I've got her angel therapy book, but I don't think she talks about. Ooh, I open it up to the Four Clairs. So I've been talking to Joan that maybe I would be doing sort of abundance, but working on psychic gifts. Ooh, so it's got clairvoyance, which is clear seeing, clairsentience, which is clear feeling, claircognizant, which is clear thinking, clairaudient, which is clear hearing. Oh, here we go. Specialties of the archangels. Just seeing what's here. Excuse me. Oh, so here's Raphael, who we talked about tonight. Healing of people and animals, guiding healers in their education and practice, guidance and protection for travelers, connecting you with your soulmate. Interesting. So, and here's Gabriel, he's my birth angel, delivering important and clear messages, helping those who are messengers, which are teachers, writers, actors, and artists, assisting with all aspects of parenting, including conception, adoption, and birth. Nice. Well, Marita, good night. Get some sleep. Because at some point, you're going to have a really good job that you're going to have to get up early for, so you might not be able to be with us every Thursday night. So I guess enjoy it while you can, right? Fabulous, Joan. I will keep you posted. Court by 8. Ooh. All right. Well, fabulous. I hope everyone has a good evening. And as always, it was it was really a good night. So have a good weekend. I will see you next Thursday. Bye.